A big namaste to everyone. I welcome you all to the fifth episode of Hevel's School of Grooming. My name is Vishal Manucha and I represent a category called Hevel's Personal Care. Today I'm gonna bring somebody on the screen who doesn't require much of the introduction. His name is Sankey Everus. I hope all of you are doing well, and let me just add him. Sankey Everus. Today's session is going to be really interesting as we talk about again a lot of styling tips. Yes, so I can see that Sankey is live with me. Sankey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay, Sankey, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, great. Thank you, Sankey, for joining us. So, I welcome you to the fifth episode of Hevel School of Grooming, and I'm really, really obliged to have you today on this session. So, we are going to talk about today one of the sessions, which was kind of quite talked about, myths about styling tools. Sankey, before I go on and talk more about Hevel School of Grooming as a property, and then we talk about various styling hacks, I just wanted to tell you about what exactly is Hevel School of Grooming. So this is a property which we started good 2.5 years back, and we come here, go live, and we talk about various style hacks, various styling hacks which people want to know that how can they look good, how can they flaunt, how can they kind of go out and say that I now want to let it out with confidence. School of Grooming has been a subsidiary of our positioning, which is none other than let it out. And good to have you today. I think Sankey, from here maybe and just introduce yourself also quickly, maybe one or two lines about you. How have been your journey when you started your career?
Thank you so much, first of all, for making me a part of this Insta Live for Havels India. I'm really grateful right now. And when I talk about my journey, everybody has this question: how I made it to this level. Like, I'm not a trained hairstylist, and for me, whatever I've achieved a little bit until now is all because of my mother, because of God, and it's nothing. So I never thought of becoming a hairstylist, to be honest. It's just that once one of my friends recommended me that there's this shoot and you just go and see if you can work. And I'm like, okay, fine. I can do hairstyling, but I have never done it professionally. And I
Yeah.
used to style my sister's hair, my friend's hair. She's like, you're doing so good. You need to go and build that confidence when it comes to hairstyling. She literally pushed me to go on that shoot. I went on that shoot. I did my job. I came back, and they loved my work, and that's how the story started
Yeah.
of my hairstyling journey started from that point onwards. And I did a couple of test shoots after that. So, photographers started liking my work, and that's how I, kept on doing shoots and shoots and shoots. And, once you start working, there's no stopping to it. So, even I enjoyed my work after that. And I'm like, if I'm doing good, if people are liking my work, then why not? Let's just do it. That's how it began at that point. And today I'm like here.
So
I still
Sankey, can
am
I?
learning. I still am learning. I still want to learn. I don't want to call myself a successful person because learning never stops, to be honest. There are a lot of things which I literally don't know, I feel, but I'm still trying and learning more and more about it. So this is
Sankey, I think
how.
I can just say one thing, the kind of exceptional work we have been seeing, styling various celebrities, and, the way it is going, I don't think so that, you can say that, I'm still, of course, everybody learns I mean,
Yeah.
it's a journey. Everybody continues to learn. But then I think that, the kind of a work you have been putting is really making us proud. At least, a lot of people are still looking up to you, and, they have a lot of hopes, the kind of a trends, the kind of a styles you have been putting on celebs. I can tell you that this is such an amazing work. So
Thank you so much.
as people also want to know that why do you call yourself as a self-taught hairstylist?
I call myself a self-taught hairstylist because there were a lot of people who have guided me through my entire career, but I had made a lot of mistakes when I started my hairstyling journey. And when I'm talking about my mistakes, a person learns from his mistakes. So I have learned from my own mistakes, which is why I'm calling myself a self-taught hairstylist. I'm thanking everyone who has guided me throughout the career until now, and I will be thanking a lot of people who will be guiding me in the future. But at the end of the day, you are the one who are doing and performing in the industry, and you are the one who is learning from your own mistakes. So that is something which I would like to, credit myself for.
Yeah, yeah. Without much ado, let's start, on the today's session, as everyone is waiting that, and they want to hear from you the styling hacks for the day. So let me tell you that, the first thing which I think probably everybody wants to know is that, there are certain styling tools available, be it from the brand Hevels or be it from some other brand. But then, people have certain myths and they feel that, that these are the products which can cause a damage to their hair. And
Yeah.
these are the products, maybe we can talk about creams, colors, curling tongs, straighteners. So various products are available in the market, but I mean, is that a myth, or you think that it just it's not something which kind of damages your hair? So what is your opinion on this?
Okay. So when it comes to hairstyling, I guess heat setting is the most important role in this entire styling thing. See, when you heat is used from waving and curling to straightening and blow drying. So we use heat everywhere. When it comes to heat, you need to know the amount of heat you're using for your hair. And I wouldn't say using might damages your hair, but using correct amount of heat won't harm your hair. Your hair is what my personal opinion is. So if you're selecting some tools which includes heat, you need to know the amount, you need to know how to use that particular tool, and you need to know the amount of heat required according to your hair and according to the hair quality. That's what
Yeah,
I usually
absolutely
basically
correct.
say.
Yeah, right. Sanki, now, I mean, there is another thing, which keeps coming to my mind is that, there are various tools, which people want to use. Let's say, a hair dryer, a hair straightener, a curling tong. But then are these the tools, which can be used by, I would say, can these be called unisex tools, that a male uses a female grooming tools and a female grooming tools are being used by male? So is that something, which is also possible these days?
Yeah, that's something which is the biggest myth of this industry, hairstyling industry. A lot of men think that okay, straighteners or blow dryers or curlers are only being used by females. It's only used by females. We can't use it, but that's not the thing. Hair straightener from tongs from blow dryers can also be used by men. I know it. What is so basically that if you have to, if we talk about the tools of hairstyling, it has basic needs. What is the need of blow dryer? It dries your hair, right? What is the
Yeah.
use of curling tong? It curls your hair. What is the use of straightener? It straightens your hair. So it's just a basic need of hairstyling, and this need, men can also need these needs, and women can also need this kind of need. So I think these tools can be used by both female and male people. So it's just like a myth. Like I myself use hair tongs and hair straighteners and blow dryers. I always recommend all the men and women to use the same. I mean, there's no harm
Yeah.
if you're using everything.
Yeah, yeah. Sanki, can you just be a little closer to the device, or maybe I'm getting some of the comments which is just saying
Okay.
that you are not that audible. Yeah,
Can you?
I think okay. So Sanki, now I think this is about the technical part, where we are going to talk about a lot of things regarding styling tips and tricks. Now, one of the questions which I keep thinking about you as a personality is that you got inspired from your mother, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
she was already a beautician, and you kind of you were looking up to her, and then slowly and steadily you started developing your roots very strongly into the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
How did that happen? I mean, it's just amazing to hear that somebody picking something as a legacy and then
Yeah.
doing such an exceptional work.
So I'll tell you what happened. So my mother was a beautician, and she would always, blow dry her hair on her own. She would, do her own makeup while going out. And since she would teach, all the girls, and we had this home classes thing, so my all the girls would come home and learn from my mother. So for me, it was very intriguing to see my mother's work and to see how fascinating that particular thing is. So my mother never taught me, you do this, you do that. I just used to sit beside my mother and watch how she is doing it and how, she's teaching other people. And that's how I started trying on my mother itself. She's like, okay, fine, if you want to try, just try. And I tried it on my mother. So my mother made me do her facial. My mother made me cut her own hair. My mother asked me to color her own hair. So these are the things which literally kept me going. And I thought it is just a hobby that I would, want to do it, which is why I was doing it. I never thought I would actually continue doing it until now. So yeah, this is something which is really like, fascinating for others to know how I became a hairstylist.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, this is super amazing, Sankey. Without any saying, Sankey, let's just move back to the topic again,
Yeah.
and then uh, there are people who have also started asking questions. So one of the questions which comes is that what does a cool shot do in hair dryer? What does a cool shot is actually being used in hair dryer?
What are the, sorry, I can't hear you.
Sankey, cool shot in an hair dryer.
Cool shot in a hair. You mean the cool settings of the hair dryer you're talking about? Okay.
Yes.
So there are certain uses of blow dryer. Blow dryer can be used to blow dry completely your hair, and it sets your hair completely. Blow dryer can be also used as a blast dryer. Blast dryer means once you come out of the shower, you towel dry your hair, and then you randomly, dry your hair. That is called a blast dry. Blow dry is something which you create sections and you blow dry it section wise. So cool dry is something which is very important again. Once you heat dry your hair, you have to cool dry it, because
Yeah.
cool dry always helps you set that particular section and gives you the better results in terms of styling.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And Sankey, I mean, people also want to check with you that does that hair dryer also result into damaging of your hair, or is it something which is just a myth?
Okay. Again, I would like to say, I mean, people use a lot of tools. People use curlers, people use blow dryers, and they also ask, what if this damage my hair? But I would like to say at the end of the day, you have to take care of certain things. When I talk about using a blow dryer, you need to understand about a few things, like you need to understand the heat settings, the amount of heat that you're using. You need to also keep one thing in mind: before using anything, you have to apply a product which is called as heat protection or thermal heat spray, which is very important. You need to layer that product into your hair and then you need to blow dry your hair. That what that would do, that will prevent your hair from heat damage or any kind of damage to your hair. Which is why
Yeah.
heat protection is one of the very important tools that I recommend everybody to use it, not just professionals, but also people who want to get themselves groomed on their own.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Sankit, this allows me to now talk little about, various hairstyles. There are
Okay.
certain trends which are being getting followed these days. Bollywood definitely, we know that is a trendsetter. And you being a traveler, you also keep traveling here and there and you
Yeah.
love traveling. You must
Yeah.
be coming across certain unique styles. One of them, for example, is beachy waves. I just read in one of the articles. So what all is trending these days, and what all styles you think that are important, and you would like to kind of explain to our audience today that this is what you should carry. Of course, monsoons are around and people are also worried about that. How can they in monsoons also quickly carry a good hairstyle? So I mean, to sum up, let's say two questions: one, what kind of styles? Second, in monsoons, which is the best suitable style for them?
Okay. So when it comes to hairstyles, it depends on what you are wearing. That is secondary, to be honest. The first thing is it depends on the shape of your face. You need to understand the structure of your face and then go for certain, hairstyles. When I talk about hair coloring, you need to understand your skin, you need to understand the tone of the skin, and decide what color would literally go on your personality. Also, at the end of the day, you are going to carry that particular style. So you need to talk to yourself, if I'm good to carry this particular style. If I'm good, I'm confident enough, then only I'll opt for this particular style. Otherwise, I wouldn't do anything that I wouldn't be able to carry. That's first thing that I would like to say. So there are various styles of trendy styles that people are opting out these days, like sleek hair. Sleek hair doesn't go with everybody. There are a lot of people who opt for it, but again, it also depends on the face, the structure of the face, and the personality. If you're gonna carry it well, then go for it. If you're not, then there's no point doing and then being uncomfortable in that particular look. When it comes to monsoon, we have to be ready when it comes to monsoon. Being Mumbaikars, we know what monsoon does to us, right?
Yeah.
So a monsoon is nothing. Blow dries are always important when it comes to monsoon because you get wet all the time. Hairstyles that I would like to suggest in monsoon is keep your hair straight. Don't go for any textures because again, if you try and keep your hair, styling, it might get ruined because of the monsoon. Which is why just keep it easy, breezy, and very effortless.
And Senge, I also read somewhere, in one of the articles, where you were interviewed, you mentioned about a style called the swirly and twirly hairstyle. What is that?
Swirly and twirly hairstyles. Are you talking about the pony? Uh,
I just read it. I was quite amazed to hear about that name, the swirly and twirly
Okay.
hairstyle.
Swirly and twirly is that the thing that I was talking about were textures. We always play with different textures, and yeah, hair tong, plays a very important role when it comes to textures. You create different texture. When I talk about texture, there are like different textures. There are waves, there are tight curls, there are soft curls, there are waves also has different types. Beach waves, you have glamorous waves, you have tussle hair. So these many textures which people don't know about, a lot of people ask me questions. Oh, what is this called? What is that called? You can call your hairstyle according to according to you. However you are doing, you just can give a name to your hairstyle. So there's
Yeah.
nothing called, there's only one name which goes on that particular style. So twirly twirly is nothing, it's just my, defined name to that particular hairstyle.
Absolutely. Great. Now, this brings me to another, one of the questions, which people are asking, and because the comments are flowing in and people want to know that, sometimes it happens, that the hair start getting frizzy and, by using certain tools like a hair straightener or something, especially people feel that, the hair start getting frizzy. Why is that? And is there a trick which you can tell them that this is something the way they should do it and hence can avoid frizz in the hair?
Okay. So the frizziness of hair also depends on the water that you use for washing because a lot of times water differs, right, everywhere. So north side the water differs. Mumbai has different water. South has different water. So that is very important for hair. The water that you use for washing is one thing that can literally create frizz in your hair. Secondly, the kind of shampoo you guys are using. You need to know what kind of shampoo literally suits you. A lot of people don't know what kind of shampoo literally suits them. So, still they keep complaining, oh, my frizz is not gone, I'm just using this shampoo. Also, you need to give time to that particular shampoo and conditioner to literally, get used to your hair. Once your
Yeah.
hair gets used to that shampoo and conditioner, then you see what the results are and then decide if you have frizz or not. Okay, now to prevent frizziness, you need to also do a little bit of treatments which are necessary, like deep conditioning treatment, which can literally help you remove the frizz. But one time treatment won't help you. You have to keep on doing it at least for 6 months if you need your frizz to go away. There are some different techniques like use masks. People don't know anything about masks. Now people think masks and conditioners are one and the same. No, mask is something which literally covers and layers your hair. It protects from UV rays and it protects from dust and other particles in the hair. So these are some important points that you
Yes.
need to remember when it comes to frizz. Frizz also, to prevent frizz, you need to use lotions like smoothing lotions. Once you come out of the shower, just in your towel dried hair, use smoothing lotions. There are so many lotions which actually has UV protection in it. So you can use
Yes.
those lotions. You can keep trimming your hair time to time, because since people don't trim their hair time to time, I think uh, frizz is something which stays, and it bothers a lot of people because of that. So keep trimming hair. Use high intensity shampoo. You use high intensity shampoos. Shampoos which literally can help you remove the frizz from your hair. But for that, again, I said you need to give time and see how it works. So these are a few things which you need to keep in mind when
Absolutely.
you have to
Absolutely.
work
Thank
on
you so much. Now, I mean, again, let's little bit of, let's shift a little bit towards you and,
yeah.
talk about, Sangeet, one particular celebrity, which you think you have not styled yet. And in future, if you get a chance to style and you will go ahead and do it with, just because out of the passion and the love that, this is what I wanted to do and I've achieved that.
Oh, there are like a lot of people that I haven't worked with, to be honest. But yeah, I would love to work with Deepika, Sonam, and all. Like, I haven't yet though, but I would love to work with and give some different style to them. And yeah, I mean, there are so many people. Like, there are not
Yeah.
like there's not just one person. Okay, my dream was to work with Marilyn Monroe, which is one of my
Oh,
favorite
wow.
stars, and she's no more, to be honest. But I always wished if I was born in 1920s or 1910, I would have become like a hairstylist and would have styled for her. She's like my inspiration, and my style is all about vintage styles, and I love, that's my forte. I love doing and creating things which are like old Hollywood glam and old Hollywood charm. So this this is something that I wanted to do, but nevertheless, I will do this on someone
Yes, of course.
someday.
Yes, right. I mean, that remains Marilyn Monroe. I can tell you that, is one of my favorites as well. It is just because of the vintage hairstyle, that she used to carry. That's why you think that, she was one of the,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
favorites.
yeah.
That's why I
I
feel that,
love
she was.
I love creating vintage styles.
Yes, yes. I mean, that's something which you always kind of, relive that, that was a time when people used to actually carry their hair in a very different style and a very unique style. And they were all natural, I would say,
Yeah, yeah,
the way it used to come.
yeah,
Wonderful. I think, Sanki, I mean, we have talked a lot about female grooming. So now, of course, there are a lot of male audiences who are there on this. So, I mean, the first thing which audience wants to know is that, you know, these days people go to salon. I mean, people used to go to salon during before lockdown, but during lockdown, of course, it was difficult going to salon. But then, they feel that until unless they get a proper beard done from salons, it is not at all possible doing a beard cut at home, or now keeping the mind in lockdown, so it is even difficult to cut hair at home. There are various innovative products, which have been launched by various brands. However, what is your take on this? What do you think that, which kind of tools are possible for doing a DIY kind of a stuff at home?
yeah. So first of all, trimming your own beard at home is not at all difficult, to be honest. I had a beard like a few years ago, and I used to trim my own beard. I never let anybody touch my beard because I had that fear. What if somebody cuts me or cuts me there? So the fear of that actually made me do and made me trim my own beard. So for me, it's I only would like to recommend use easy trimmers, use easy clippers that can literally help you trim your own beard, and don't shy away from trimming your own beard. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of men, a lot of friends of mine, they come to me and they're like, okay, I'm really scared of trimming my own beard. I mean, you're not. Until now, there were salons, there were hairstylists who were doing things for you, which is why you never got a chance to do it on your own. But now, because of lockdown, now there is nothing. You have to do it, right? I mean, there's no other option. So,
Yes.
easy trimmers, like I today only I have used this Havells this trimmer, which I really loved it, and wait, this one, in fact, this
Yes.
trimmer. I actually cut my hair today on my own.
Oh, wow.
So I used this trimmer and I cut my own hair, and it was amazing. Like I think I'm gonna use this all the time. So beard trimming is not at all difficult. I have guided a lot of friends of mine virtually how to trim your beard. Just take help from your hairstylist, or there are a lot of DIY videos on YouTube that you can see and do it. Just start using the clipper. It's not at all hard work. And hair trimming also another thing which it is a bit difficult, but nothing is impossible. You can still do it. So just take a clipper and start doing it. Like you have a lot of videos, and you can just see. Anyway, nobody's going anywhere in the lockdown. So even if you make a mistake, your hair will grow, and you are gonna be back with your normal look.
Thank you so much, Sanki. I mean, this is really helpful. People would now understand that how styling tools can help them not only look good, but also there are certain tricks and
Yeah.
which they can use, and they can definitely do the beard styling at home. This is
Yeah.
this is really helping us, and it is
Yeah.
really making now people ask many more questions. So I can see that there are a list of questions which have flowed in. So I have to pick again two of them. The first one comes from Mona Lisa, and she's asking one go-to styling tool to get any look. One go-to styling tool to get any look.
Okay.
Yeah,
So, straightener, I would like to, recommend straightener is a tool that you can, create different textures by using a straightener. So, straightener can also straighten your hair. Straightener can also create waves in your hair, and straightener can also create curls in your hair. So, straightener is one thing which completes half of your kit, to be honest. Rather carrying like three tongs, you can use just one straightener and just create things out of it.
true. Thank you. Now I move on to the next question. So, how do you stay updated regularly on the latest styling trends?
Okay.
How do
So
you? I think this is for you also, Sanki. How do you stay updated on
yeah.
the latest styling
See,
trends?
today we are in 2020s, and being in 2020s is internet is everywhere. Even like now kids have been using internet. So when you have internet, just I keep on updating myself on international trends. In fact, I keep on creating my own new styles. I have a dummy. I keep practicing on it, and what is going around the world. Just go see what people are doing. Not just in the Asian continent, but you also go towards America. You go Australia. What people are doing it, like now VMA awards also happened, and celebrities were carrying different looks. So just go try, see different things, and learn on your own. So knowing, keeping yourself updated is very important, and in this era, like today, not just hairstylists but also other people are aware of new trends and new fashion, whatever comes. So this is how I keep myself, updated through magazines, through websites, through net, through all the shows and everything.
Yeah, right. Thank you so much. Hope the questions got answered now. One of the clues which I pick up from your answer, Shanki, is that you are also a firm believer of trials and errors.
Yeah.
You know, and how does that? I mean, a person like you who is a hardworking guy, who is passionate about things, who knows that how to style celebs. How can you think about trials and errors, and how can you suggest to others that you go and do a trial, and then maybe you'll end up doing something crazy? So, what is that all about?
Since I have learned from my own mistakes, for me, trials and errors are the most important part of my career. Like, in fact, in any career, it's not just my career, but this is an important aspect that everybody needs to know. Until and unless you don't try, you don't make a mistake, you won't learn anything from it. So a lot of terms in the hairstyling, I would not know, like in the past, like, oh, I did this, but this was already there. This was something which has come to me always whenever I worked with someone. And at the end of the day, when you make mistake, you learn from that mistake. You get to know, oh, this shouldn't have been like this should have been like that. So next time onwards, I'm not going to do this in this way, I'm going to do in some other way, and that's how it's going to look nice. So aesthetics,
Super.
hairstyling aesthetics are something which are very important. You need to focus on aesthetics. You need to know what is correct aesthetically and what is not correct aesthetically. I mean, a lot of people go for sleek hair, but aesthetically, if that sleek look is suiting that particular personality, is it correct? Ask yourself. You need to update yourself in terms of aesthetics. Ask yourself if it's looking good. Genuinely, you get an answer from inside, from your heart. If it's looking correct, your heart will say yes. If it's not, your heart will say no. So for me, I always work on my aesthetics. I still am working on my aesthetics, which also is connected to trials and errors at the end of
Yeah.
the day, and that's how it works. That's how
So,
your work
this is
looks
something.
good.
Yeah, and this is something, which we kind of avoid, when we are launching a product in the market. So this is something, which we say that, until unless we have tried it and we have tried it on ourselves and on our people, so we will never launch it into the market. So, I mean, that's where it kind of came at as an interesting question to me. And, the answer which I get is absolutely correct. Until unless you try, until unless you experiment, how would you get to know that, what is the style which is going to suit on you, on your face? Because everybody is unique, everybody has different type of face, and then probably the color, the skin color, which you mentioned earlier. So it I think makes a lot of difference. Thank you. So this makes me to move to
Yeah,
another
yeah.
question, which now comes from one of the male, and then it is about any tip which you would to I mean give somebody, that how to trim the hair at the back. It is most difficult portion when you are doing a DIY haircut. Probably it is not easy to,
Okay.
because how would you do it at the back? And
Yeah,
any
yeah.
clue which you would like to give, because you must have tried it on yourself.
Yeah, today I did, of course. Like, so, before answering this question, I have a tutorial which is there on my page. Just go on my page and see. There is a tutorial where I've cut my own hair and I've recorded the entire thing. But yeah, I haven't done anything from behind. I haven't recorded that. So to cut your hair which is at the back, you have to place one mirror, at the back and one mirror at the front. So you can literally see your reflection, falling on that mirror, and then accordingly, create your section and then cut your hair. I mean, that's how I'm right now describing it. It seems very easy, but for other people it won't be easy. So this is the
Yeah.
time, if you really sit and practice and try to do that, it's not impossible. You can literally do it.
Yes, and you being in of not I mean being in home, and you're not going to office. So even if you once or twice you go wrong, that's where you will
Yeah,
understand and
that's
learn.
fine. Your hair literally grows back, and
Yeah.
you don't need to worry about it.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Sangeet, just tell me something. This has been a question which is coming to my mind since morning. Is that you made your Instagram handle name as Mad Hair Scientist.
Yeah.
Why do you call this as Mad Hair Scientist?
So again, my best friend who pushed me for that shoot, her name is Nilakshi, and she's a plus size blogger. And we had this very small blog. We were in the same college, and we had this small beauty blog. So since she is like plump and she's like a plus size model, uh, we had this one idea that let's create something for plus size women. A lot of, until now, we have seen all the looks on all the petite models, all the thin models, but nobody has shown anything on a plus size model, right? So she's like, with this plus size face, let's create something which can also make them look beautiful. And we tried doing that, and we literally, it was a huge success for us because it was looking so nice. People are still appreciating her for her looks and her, like, the way she carries herself. And we both can't thank each other enough for creating that blog and doing all of that thing. So since I created different looks, and she's like, you let's create some name. And that's how she's a very good writer also, and her English is
Oh,
better than mine. So she derived this name called the Mad Hair Scientist, since you do everything which is wacky and mad, and you can go to any level if it comes to hairstyling, and hence
oh,
that's how she derived this name, the Mad Hair Scientist. And scientist is someone who keeps on trying new looks and keeps on trying creating new things, which is why, like,
yeah.
scientist was an appropriate name for me,
Yeah.
which she thought she could give it.
Super amazing, super amazing. I think this is a story that people would really want to know about. So I think it's really interesting. So Sankey, another question which comes in from the audience now is that most demanded hairstyle by celebrities, both male and female.
Okay. Hairstyle, a lot of I work with a lot of celebrities, and I think 90% of celebrities love keeping the hair open. I mean, open hair is like beauty. And when we talk about Bollywood celebs, of course, like Bollywood with flowy hair and soft hair, which is like flying in the camera, it looks super romantic and super nice and quite dreamy. So, a blow dried, big volume and amazing tousled hair looks great, and it gives that drama in that camera which is needed in the movie. So this is something that a lot of celebrity, ask for when I work with them.
Wonderful. So, any distinction between male and female? I mean, you talked a lot about female, and I read a lot of female stylists, which you have been really doing your stuff. I mean, in and around them. However, how about a male style? I mean, a male celebrity here. Any male celebrity you think that you kind of opt for, and you feel that is the one guy who always carries himself in a way, and he's a trendsetter for the youth of the country.
So there's only one celebrity that I think I really want to work with is Ranveer Singh, because
Oh
Ranveer
wow.
Singh actually, doesn't have qualms about anything on trying. He literally goes to any level when it comes to, wearing something or opting any hairstyle or makeup or anything. He loves trying new things, and I think I really would love to work with him and give something which he has never done before.
Great. I think I truly buy your point. Yes, right.
Yeah.
Stanky, I mean, why don't you just, again, give a little bit more about you as a personality that, why don't you tell us that, the journey for you has been all about hard work. I agree. And you told that.
Yeah.
But then, you also got to a point where you started getting very good assignments. You've been styling various Bollywood celebs. But then, there must have been one moment where you felt that, this is something was the biggest challenge I have faced in my life. And this is something, which has made me learn so much. And, this is what I would always talk about. And this I have created a memory for myself.
Yeah, I have something to say, to be honest, because when it comes to challenges, my entire career was like, like a challenge. Because when you're on your own and people are there to guide you, but at the end of the day, you have to perform, because when you perform, people are gonna judge your work. People are not gonna judge other people who are guiding you, right? So I'll tell you, from initial days of my career, when I was like a new hairstylist, I didn't even have like a proper kit. So I literally faced a lot of problem when I didn't have a proper kit. I just had, when I went for my first shoot, I had just like a dryer, a comb, and like a straightener and a brush. That's it. I didn't have other things. I only had these four things, and I still remember this photographer taunting me, saying, "Oh, you have a very big bag," and I was like, "Okay, what does that mean? I don't know." So it started from there. Then I, slowly, gradually, I started collecting tools, products. I kept myself updated about all the products in the market, all the tools in the market. I bought those things. Um, Then another thing, I didn't know how to do films. So film shoots are actually different than what we still shoots. And in 2018, Houseful for 4 was my first movie, and I was styling Kriti Kharbanda, and I
Oh,
didn't know, like, how to work in a film on a film set. To working on a film set is completely different, but Kriti actually now has become like a part of my life. She's my best friend, and she's taught me so many things. How to literally touch ups in between the shots, how to see the monitor, how to see what is important, what is not important. For the wide shots, you don't need to see a lot. In the close-up shots, you literally have to see which side is the camera placed, and according to that, you need to create a hairstyle. So these are
yeah.
small challenges that I have, faced when I started shooting for the films. But today I can tell, because of her, I've learned so much. And
Yes.
now I did two movies with Sarah. The second is still going on, and I think now Sarah can literally rely on me when it comes to, monitor, because hair actually plays very important role when it comes to, filming and movies. Sometimes
Yes.
because of hair, your shot actually could go for a toss, and it can give a very bad result. So, these are some challenges that I faced, and I'm literally, thanking Kriti for teaching me so much about films and how to work on set and everything.
Correct. Right. Moving back to the topic, Saki, so just tell me that, which are the tools, because it is today's topic is about, the myths on styling tools. So can you tell me, which are the styling tools one should carry always with them? And then, you can also talk about that these are the styling tools which will never ever damage your hair. Of course, you talked about, using those heat protective things, but then, you must be sure that, these are certain tools which one should have, and these are the tools which will never damage the hair. And these are the tools, which can always give you those different unique styles which we talked about in the start of the session.
Yeah. So, basic tools one needs to know, and basic kit that I always recommend a lot of people that you need to have in your hair kit is like a blow dry. You need to have a straightener, tail comb. That's it. I mean, and your heat protection, of course, that, and a hairspray if you feel like, and if you want, and if you don't want to use products, then you even can't. Like, it's okay if you don't use it. But I think these 5 things you need to know. But at the end of the day, if I talk about damaging your own hair, you are whole and soul responsible for it. So why? Because the heat setting that you're going to use it depends on that. So how, if a person, it depends on the person how he or she is going to use that tool. See, heat is involved in every tool. I'm not saying it's not. Heatless, and if you want to opt for heatless styling, then you have to give that entire time, and you have to make a lot of efforts to have that heatless styling. But nowadays, people don't have time to opt for heatless styling, which is why they use blow dryers and straighteners and everything. So might as well you also use heat thermal spray and other tools to prevent hair from, very like heat damage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
blow dryer, straightener, and a tail comb, your thermal spray, and like maybe a brush if you really want to blow dry your hair like in detail. So these are the five, six things that you need to understand and keep in your hair kit.
Yes, right. Wonderful. That, that's what we kind of always recommend people to at least, have these basic tools in their kits. So,
And
I mean, wonderful.
blow dryer is, what is the basic use of blow dryer is drying your hair. You can't keep your hair wet. Keeping your hair wet can also damage your hair, which people don't know. I mean, a lot of people, I've seen a lot of female friends of mine, they wash their hair and then they go to the office directly like that. I mean, exposing your hair to the sun directly, not using any lotion, not using any heat protection. You have UV, you have heat protection, or for your skin, right? You use it for your face. At the
Yes.
same time, you have to also use heat protection spray or lotion to your hair. It's not only tools, heat which damages your hair. It's also your UV rays which comes out of the sun can damage your hair.
Wonderful. I think that's what people were looking for. Sanki, just another question which is coming from the audience side is that why do why do you think that a straightener is being not being today these days is not being used by male? I also learned that now these days people, guys have started using, of course, dryers is something which was very popular earlier. Slowly and steadily guys learned that dryer is something which we can definitely use every now and then. But then is straighteners also something which guys can use depending
Yeah,
upon the hair length, of course?
yeah. Straightener is also very important for men, which I think they are not aware of. But straightener, we get different sizes in straighteners. So we have like smaller straightener to the big straighteners. So the
Yeah.
smaller straighteners that are available in the market are used by men. There are some small sections of the hair which big straightener can't straighten, but there are
Right.
some sections which can be straightened by very small straightener, and that's how men can also use straighteners. Men hair have like less length, like very short length, so that small straightener can also reach every part of your hair, and you can straighten those frizzy hair, or some part of the hair has frizz, some part doesn't have the frizz. So these small straighteners are like well being used by men.
Yeah.
I have used like for myself. Like I have a small
Yeah.
straightener which I always use it.
Right. Right. And I think after launching a men's hair dryer, Havells also learned this fact that now there's a need definitely to launch a straightener also. So for male we do have a hair dryer, but now I think with this statement from you coming in, we are doubly sure that we sometimes need to launch a hair straightener for men also, which is definitely going to
That's
be
great.
smaller and sleeker one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. I think Sanki, really a great session, a wonderful interaction with you. A lot to learn in this episode of Havel School of Grooming. Before we kind of close this session for today's evening, it'll be great if you can just give one last trick of the session, which makes a lot of sense for all the people who are watching this show.
Uh, in terms of like what my like in terms of career, or like in terms of grooming, or like how?
I think in
Okay,
terms
I
of
will, I will,
grooming,
I will, I will, I will address both the things, to be honest. To all the aspiring hairstylists, I have one thing to say: just keep doing your hard work, keep updating yourself, keep trying things. If you are learning on your own right now, because none of the academies or training things are open right now, so don't shy away from hard work. Just keep doing on focus on your work, what you have to do. If you're aspiring good, um, all I need to say is just keep doing the hard work. And when it comes to grooming, don't have that fear that you won't be able to do it. It won't look nice. If you think it will look nice, just go for it. Try things in the house, because right now you can't go anywhere, and since you have all the time in the world, just even if you make mistakes, you are going to learn from it, and yeah, just go for it.
wow. That's what we were looking for, Senki. It's a great word to just kind of sum up this session. And, I thank you, first of all, for being part of Havel School of Grooming. And, it has been always great to have people like you, because, this is where this platform has been created. People want to learn here. They want to understand, what are the tips and tricks of grooming. And, that's what is, hearing from I'm in the mouth of the hairstylist like you, who are especially self-taught. It is amazing. The energy was flowing throughout the session. It was great
Yeah.
to have you. Have a great day and a great time ahead. All the best.
Thank you so much for making me a part of this entire, live session. People ask me about my career, but I think I'm not bragging about myself, but I think people also learn a lot from it, and they can relate to me if they are. If a lot of people don't have money to, spend in these academies where they can go spend and learn on their own. But yeah, I would like to say you can learn on your own if you have that genuine determination in you. And yeah, that's how it is. Like
Wonderful.
I keep motivating people, and people need that these days. A push can literally push people to another level.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great, Sankey. I mean, thank you so much, for this great, session, first of all. And then, I thank audience as well for being a part of this session.
Yeah,
Keep
I'm so
looking for
glad
more
there are
action.
2,000 people online and watching. I've never
Yes.
had such audience, to be honest. Thanks to Heavens India, thanks to you.
Thanks to you. Of course, that's the power of brand Hevels. That's what we kind of ensure that people keep coming to us, keep learning from us. We believe in education. That's where we have created this property. Once again, thank you, audience, for coming in. Take care. Take care of your hair as well. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, that's the most
Love you, and had a great session.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.